Bring the feet under the knees. And bring the hands, palms down on the thighs today to begin. Look straight forward, release the shoulders away from the ears. Feel that downward action of the body initially so that the two buttock bones descend and the legs also release. Downward. Keep the gaze directly forward. Then press the hands a little bit down to roll the shoulders up and back. And maintaining that rooted sensation in the lower body. Breathe into the side ribs. And bring that sense of lift beneath the collarbones. Ascending through the crown of the head. Keep the eyes soft and join the palms together. And then gently close the eyes from top to bottom and turn the attention inward. Observe the breath from this perspective now. And as we go through the sound of Om, please consider joining me. I hope you do. So that you can take advantage of that sound, that mantra, to anchor the consciousness even more deeply inward. Release the head down towards the heart center. And surrender there. Bring the hands down with the palms up. Bring the head up with closed eyes. And then gently open the eyes. All right, everybody. Go ahead and lie on your back, bend your knees, feet flat on the ground. Good. Take a moment there, feel the heel bones gently pressing down and slightly forward, creating a length in the lumbar spine. Relax across the abdomen. Soften the jaw, the tongue, let the eyes close. And again, take a moment to really allow the body to absorb inward. Feel on your mat that you're really on the center of your mat. Take the hands, take a hold of the sides of the mat, and turn the upper arms out. And then press the right heel forward on the mat. And then join the left leg forward as well. Bring the feet together. and push the buttock flesh towards the heels and elongate. Feel that the heel bones strive to draw further and further away from the body. If possible, keep your heels on your mat. Now, keeping that length, buttock to the heels, from the back waistband, roll the buttock to the heels. And then spread across the mounds of the foot, from big toe to small toe. Feel how that can spread the back thigh, back groin, so that the front thigh descends down, that the tailbone stays in. Then take both arms to the ceiling, hook your thumbs. Breathe into the side body and feel how your front waist stays close to the floor. So in other words, the low back should stay where it is, sides of the waist down, as you inhale and take the arms overhead. Elongate now throughout the entire body. So the lower waist goes to the heels, the side waist goes towards the hands. I should say the side ribs go towards the hands. The side waist moves down towards the floor. Keep the broadening in the mounds of the foot and just take that full body stretch. Keep the neck soft. Continue to steer the breath into the sides of the body, allowing the abdomen to remain passive. Change the hook of your thumbs. And then release the arms and hug the right leg in. Hold the shin bone, pull straight down. Now, as the right leg comes in deeper and becomes more comfortable, right, keep the left heel pushing forward and again spread into the mound of the left foot. As you spread the mound of the left big toe to small toe, observe how the outer left hip, I guess, firms in. It's actually the gluteal region, that outer gluteal region. Then stretch the right leg back out to straight. Elongate in the same way as you did before and take the arms up and overhead. Lengthen. Feel how the heels broaden against the ground and the thighs move down as the tailbone moves in. Switch the hooking of your thumbs and continue. And then release the arms and hug the left leg in. Slow, steady descent to that left leg. Then re-engage the right leg. Heel presses forward and broaden the mound of the big toe to the small toe. And then hug both legs in. Both shin bones straight down. And then I forgot to tell you to get a strap. But if you don't have a strap there next to you, roll onto your side for a second and get one. Oh, sorry about that. That's my phone. I thought I left it at home. Get a strap, make a loop in it so that we can go right back to where we left off, please. With the legs hugged in, then you take that strap, double it, hook both feet for Urdhva Prasarita Padmasana at a 90-degree. So you can have a little slack in your strap so that your elbows can bend, keeping the collarbones broad. Once you're there and the legs are lifted, feel the buttock flow towards the heels and the heels press to the ceiling. Maintaining that, broaden across the mounds of the foot and ascend the mounds of the foot. So they're higher than your heels. But not so much that your toenails point up, right? It's like kind of like you're standing on tiptoe. Now, as you broaden the mounds of the foot, also firm the outer ankles, outer calves in. And this sort of is a reaction to how that works with your feet, but see that it happens. Keep the breath in the side body. Keep the abdomen soft, deflated. Then hug both legs in again. Turn onto your right hand side. Have a wall if that's possible. And we're going to take downward facing dog with your hands turned out against a baseboard. So go on there. Hands turned out. Turn the upper arms out so the collarbones are broad, and then come on in. Lengthen through the outer armpits and the side waist. Spread across the mounds of the foot so the kneecaps lift up. But then with all that length there that you're creating, right? Roll the flesh of the buttock to the heels. And broaden across the mound of the foot. To awaken the legs. Broadening the mounds of the foot there. See that your outer ankles, outer calves should firm in. That's it. Keep the length in the side body. Good job. Let the neck release and relax. And then walk the hands back to the feet. And inhale, come on up to standing. Turn around, put the heels against the wall. Same thing, downward dog. So here, right, once you've made the length in your side armpits, side waist, again, feel the buttock flesh rolls towards the heels. And then as you spread across the mounds of the foot, feel how the back heel comes towards the wall. Can you open then the back groins, the back thighs, the back groins, keeping that outer border of the leg firm in. And as you do that, the legs gain a good deal of stability and strength. Keep using the front thighs moving back towards the wall to continually lengthen the side body. Then walk the feet forward to the hands, feet hips distance apart. Hold the elbows for soft Uttanasana. So now lift through your knees. Keep the kneecaps lifted and the legs strong, just like they were in that downward dog. Change the crossing of your arms. And then bring your hands to the outer calves. So the biggest part of your calf muscle, put your palm flat there with your fingers pointing down. Spread across the mound of the foot and press in with your hands as you lift through the knees. And feel how that firmness in the outer border of the legs helps with the lift of the inner legs. It helps with the buttock flowing down. It helps with the back bone broaden. It just should generally help with all those things. And then with your inhale, come on up to standing. Come be in Tadasana. We're going to take a couple standing poses. So have what you might need. If you want a couple bricks to stand and do some of the standing work, just take it. That's fine. If you don't need it, don't want it, that's also fine. Okay. But be in Tadasana now. Utthita Trikonasana. Inhale, jump. Turn your legs to the right. Seal that outer left heel skin to the ground. And exhale, come out over that right leg. Once you're there, again, seal the outer left heel down. Feel how that helps you firm the outer left ankle in. So the inner left ankle draws up the inner left leg. Bring the weight into the mound of the right big toe and lengthen the right side body. Now as the right side body lengthens, be aware of the thick back right ribs. Feel how they have a sense of flowing away from the spine, allowing and encouraging then the chest to turn from left to right. From right to left. And then begin to turn your gaze to look up at that left hand. So if it feels like, gosh, I can almost see that left hand. Remember how we were working with like the crown of the head tethered back. Rely on the legs, turn. Then inhale, lift from the left arm, come up. Turn the feet forward. And change sides. So outer right heel skin down now. Expand across the collarbones, the arms. And exhale out over that left leg. So find all those fundamentals that we're so accustomed to in our standing poses, right? That back outer right heel down. The outer ankle can then firm in and the inner ankle pulls up towards the inner thigh. The weight in the mound of the left big toe and lengthen the left side body. So understand that the leg actions are primary. That comes first because it takes the tailbone in. Then when you lengthen the left side waist, the tailbone should maintain its way in, right? It shouldn't turn into one of those things where you're hanging in the joints. Roll those thick back left ribs downward to turn the chest upward. Even then, let the head follow, but don't terrorize the neck. Instead, stand in your legs and feel the head is tethered towards that wall behind you. And strengthen the legs. Then, inhale, lift from the right arm, come up, turn the feet forward. And with your exhale, jump. Tadasana. Be in Tadasana. Utthita Parasvakonasana. Inhale, jump. So now, before we ever turn the legs, Utthita Hasta Padasana, where we are now, right? Spread the mounds of the foot and anchor the outer heel skin down so you, again, already should feel that lift of the inner leg. Tailbone in. Lift through the side ribs and expand through the arms. So that expansion through the arms, feel how that can allow the trapezius muscle to release down. So imagine I'm holding your fingertips on both sides and I'm pulling. Now, turn the legs to the right. Press down the outer left heel skin. And exhale, bend the right leg, right hand down, left arm. Pull up and reach it overhead. Just go right on in there. And then begin to dance and communicate with that left foot. Outer left heel down, inner left ankle lifting up. Maintain that as you press the right leg into the right arm and lengthen the right side body so you can turn the chest to the left. Breathe through the nose. Simultaneously, press the outer left heel down and roll your right knee back. Simultaneously. Then inhale, lift from the left arm, come up, turn the feet forward. Expand across the arms. Observe from within how the lift in this region, the lift of the side ribs up, helps that expansion. Then turn to the other side. Right outer heel down. Exhale, bend the left leg, bring the weight into the left heel as the right arm lifts up, pull up, and then it goes overhead. Now, re-engage the back right heel, outer heel down. So there's a lift, right, of that inner back leg. You see my leg's kind of dropping now. I want to get so that inner left leg is buoyant. I'm sorry, that would be right leg. It's my left, I'm learning. But get that buoyancy as you extend through that top arm. Then left knee presses left arm. Bend your left leg, Clifford. Bend that front leg. Lengthen the left side body and turn the chest to the right. Hey, bend the leg. Bend, be in the pose. Yes, deepen, don't be afraid of that pose. Now simultaneously, outer right heel down, left knee back. Turn. Inhale, lift from your right arm, come up. Turn the feet forward. Oh, sorry, Clifford, that wasn't you. And then jump. You're probably like, I am bending it. Tadasana. Okay, so we're going to take Utthita Trikonasana and move into Ardha Chandrasana. Okay, so just before we do that, I'm going to remind you of what we really work on in that pose. So I'm going to turn my back. I'm sorry. But when you move into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose from triangle, watch. So I'm just going to be in triangle. It's essential this outer hip is not back here towards you, like it is now. I want to get that outer hip in. And I want to be sure from the top portion of the buttock that my buttock goes towards my prop wall like that, right? So that when you make that transition, you have to be super diligent about that because, you know, it's a balance thing. So we get here and we want to balance and then it goes into the low back. So stay in your legs. Roll the buttock, in this case, towards that prop wall, so that when you come into Ardha Chandrasana, that's more maintainable and you're not in your lower back. For a lot of you, it'll almost, because I know for me, it almost feels like a tuck. So consider the tailbone in, because that's what you're really looking for, right? It's Tadasana with that lifted leg. So remember tailbone in, okay? So that's that. We're doing Trikonasana first. Inhale, jump. Turn to your right. Feel how the anchor of the left heel bone down pulls the buttock flesh down already. And the mound of the right big toe down helps take the tailbone in already. So work to maintain that tailbone in. So it's tethered, keeping you stable for triangle. Keep that left arm pulling upward, but turn only your head and look downward. You can look downward. Bend the front leg, step in. Now's the time. When you reach that right hand forward, roll the buttock towards your left heel, and then come on in to Ardha Chandrasana. Bring the weight into the mound of your right big toe. Push out through your left heel initially, but then even press out through the mound of the left big toe. So as you stay there, imagine your left ankle is getting heavier, like there's a little weight that someone put on it. So if the outer ankle firms in, feel how the inner left ankle pulls up to your inner left thigh to keep that back leg buoyant. Then lengthen through the right side body and turn the chest to the left. And at some point you have to trust your gaze, right? Trikonasana. Inhale, lift up. Turn the feet forward and change sides. So that was sort of like an offhand statement. Sorry, I have to move this way or I run into things. That was kind of an offhand statement that at some point you have to trust your gaze. When you go to change your gaze and you're going to start looking forward, don't do it quickly. Look at something straight out at that line and slowly walk your gaze up. You understand what I mean? Come on to the second side. We'll talk about it a little bit when we're in the pose. So turn the chest to the right. Keep the chest turning. Right heel pressing. Look down. Bend and step in. Reach that left arm forward and roll the buttock. Now come on into the pose. Lift the left kneecap so you get that weight in the mound of the big toe. Buttock to the right heel. Then mound of the right big toe can also press away. Now when you go to move your gaze, there's a line there on the floor to the wall in front of you. Follow that line. Don't let your eyes get away from you. So, you know, they say we always are reaching towards something or pushing something away. It's sort of that greediness that we have of wanting to catch the next thing. Be patient. But eventually that line will come right up onto the ceiling towards your right thumb. Turn the chest. And then Trikonasana. Ooh, easy for me to say. And inhale, come on up. Turn the feet forward. Tadasana. Okay, good. Now, we're going to do just a little bit of that one more time. So again, if you have a wall that you can bring your mat to, please do. On each side, we're going to do Trikonasana to Ardha Chandrasana. Now, the Trikonasana is not going to be as wide as Trikonasana usually is. If you understand the distance that you need to be from the wall, it's fine. If you're not real certain, easiest way is just to measure a leg's distance, go, oh, there's my buttock, boom. Put your heel there. So just watch for a second and then we'll do together. So I've got the heel down, but look, I've got to push that heel down and into the wall so that my leg's already fine. Oh yeah, there's a lift, the tailbone's in, outer gluteals are strong. Then we're just going to come into like a little mini triangle pose. It's not even a full triangle. And reach and step so that back heel touches the wall. You've got your hand here now. So you're going to feel the buttock push into that heel and bring the weight here, not even in the mound of the foot. You can bring the weight into the big toe itself. Then back heel's pressing the wall. But now listen, you've heard me talk about a heaviness in your back foot. That is that outer ankle, outer calf in. Right? So when your foot's on the wall, what helps is if you get the sense that you're going to pull the foot down the wall. I'm not really moving it. I'm just pulling it down a little. But it gives the back leg, watch, it gives the back leg, I'm trying to move that hand, a sense of being buoyant. So if I had a strap, or someone were standing there with a strap around my inner groin, you see if the strap was being pulled up, how I'm getting that lift? It literally turns my pelvis and allows me to take the hand up. Then to come out, just step down that back wall, come up like triangle, and turn. Got it? So, right foot's going to step out away from the wall first. Find your distance. You can measure it real quick if you'd like. Before you bring your hand down over your right leg, press the left heel into the wall and down. Keep your left hand on your left waist. It's just going to be kind of your eyes for that left waist. Now bring the right hand down towards the right ankle. Bend the right knee, reach the right hand forward of the small toe by about a foot, and step onto the right foot and bring your left foot up the wall. You want to feel that you're at least a hip's height with that left foot. It should be right around hip height. It can be a tiny bit higher, but it doesn't need to be. Good. Lift through your right knee. Bring the weight into the mound of the right big toe, and even the big toe itself should feel like it presses down so that that outer right hip absorbs in. Your left thumb pushes your left buttock into your left heel. Yeah. So your right buttock should also move towards your left heel. Now, push the left heel into the wall and imagine you're going to drag that foot down the wall. It's not really going to move. But feel how that firms the outer left ankle in and gives that buoyancy from the inner left ankle to the inner left thigh. As if I had a rope there and I were lifting your upper inner left thigh a little bit to the ceiling. Then take the left arm straight up. Good. Keep the length on the right side body. Roll those back right ribs towards the ground and turn the chest to the left. Keep the legs awake, right? So the tailbone stays in, so you're stable. Good, everybody. Then slowly step that left foot just right down the wall. Press the left heel down. Inhale, come on. Yeah, really good. Good. Turn around. Let's do the other side. I'm doing the other side with you. So get that distance. Turn the left leg out, but press the outer right heel down and back into the wall. And by the way, Feel it gives you the same energetics in that leg as what we're searching for in the pose. Now, feel the arch alignment. Bring that left hand down, right hand on your right waist. Already you should feel, oh, the buttock, it's going to the wall. Bend your left leg, reach the hand forward and step into the pose. So now lift the left knee. Feel that your left leg turns out. Very much so. So that outer left hip rolls to the wall. Mound the left big toe, bears weight, even the big toe itself. Then buttock rolls to the wall. Press the right heel, reach it to the wall. And imagine you're dragging that foot down the wall. So the outer ankle firms in. And you get a buoyancy, a lift from the inner ankle to the inner right leg, almost to the groin. So that whole right femur bone is lifted. Your outer left hip firms in more, and the tailbone's in. Reach the right arm up. Lengthen the left side body, but keep the tailbone in. And turn the chest to the right. Strong, steady legs. So that the spine almost gets a sense like it's flying away from the wall. Then, to come down, just step that right foot down the wall bit by bit, bring it to the floor, and inhale, come to standing. Good. Turn the feet forward, come on out into the middle of your area there. You don't need the wall now. Prasarita, Padmasana. Okay? Go and jump. So, beginning Prasarita, remember, we're always coming back to this Utthita Hasta Padasana. So gain those actions. Spread the mound of the foot, lift the inner leg, so that you'll feel then the front groin, you'll feel that gluteal region, you'll feel the tailbone, so that when you bring your hands onto your waist, these side ribs get a greater lift. Roll the shoulders back, lift the chest. And in your own time, exhale, come forward, hands to the floor. Broaden the mounds of the foot so the side body continues to elongate. But listen, keep the inner ankles drawing up and feel how that pulls your tailbone in. And now walk the hands back to the space between your feet, lengthen, and with your exhale, bring the crown of the head down by lengthening out of the side waist, side ribs, by deflating the abdomen, by allowing the back to round. This is not hyperflexion at your hip. I mean, it is, but it isn't. You know what I mean? Yes, the hips are, very flexed there. But that is not the thing that gives the movement. It's the pranic lift of the inner legs. That lift comes all the way up deep into the abdominal region, lifting. And then it's a surrender through the side body, the side ribs. Press the inner hand down and lift through the forearms. And find that the shoulders can also lift up then away from the ears. Yeah, I've come out, but you should stay if you can. I came to see what's going on. Keep the lift of the knees and keep the outer knees open. Don't let the inner knees hang back. How do you keep the outer knees open? Well, one way is you press the outer heel down and lift the inner ankles up. All right, now inhale, straighten the arms. Bring the hands to the waist. And next inhale, come all the way to standing. Heel toe. And bring the legs together. Tadasana. Okay, good. Shirshasana, headstand. If for any reason you're not doing head balance today, your alternative is going to be Supta Padangusthasana, lateral stage. Okay, so what that means is have a bolster. You can put your feet against a wall if you want, but you'd have a bolster hip height. You'd put it right next to your hip and you'd strap your right leg first, like so. You'll hold the strap and you can put your elbow on the ground, but this bolster should stay right next to your outer hip so that it supports your leg well. Right? This will be your work while the rest of the group does Shirshasana. Those of you doing Shirshasana, you can be at the wall, you can be at the middle of the room, but remember, try and recall what we did. It's been a little bit ago. You all know you interlock your fingers to the webbing, but what I have tried to reiterate recently is that you want, gosh, there's no good angle for this. You want the whole back of your head to go into your hands, and then the outer wrists, this region, works to press down. So what it does, it slightly makes your arms turn out, but the effort of then pressing that outer wrist down, it engages your arms and your shoulders differently than just, anchor it down and keep the hands together, right? So look for that openness of the hands. The thumbs probably won't touch. Work to get that outer wrist down, okay? Then crown of the head to the ground, turn the toes under, lift the knees, walk your feet in. Feel when you walk your feet in. Don't come up yet if you're not already up. If you're up, that's fine. Otherwise, walk your feet in as much as you can. Keep that outer wrist pressed down and roll the buttock towards your heels. Then spread the mounds of the foot. Yeah. Then pull the heels towards the buttock. Yeah. Now feel how that lifts your frontal groins, outer groins, inner groins, all up. Now use that lift to bring yourself into the pose. And you can come up one leg at a time if you want. If you can hop both legs up at the same time with bent knees, you can do that. Come on in. Good. So I apologize to those of you that are watching if this is recorded. I know I'm not doing the pose yet. I'm checking on people in class. So now, once you're there, push the buttock to the heels. When you do that, separate your feet a little bit and feel how that helps the buttock flesh lift up further and more. So lift the buttock flesh into the heels and push the heels towards the ceiling. Then, maintaining those actions, bring the mounds of the big toes together. Keeping the buttock up, tailbone in, bring the mounds of the big toes together and spread the mounds of the foot. Now feel how that, with the tailbone in, lengthens your frontal thighs upward. Press the outer wrists. Keep a lift in the mounds of the foot so that outer gluteals are awakened and the tailbone's in. Now, keep the outer elbows. So the elbows are on the ground. Think of that outer elbow, right? Imagine your right outer elbow is trying to look at your left outer elbow. And your left outer elbow is trying to look at your right outer elbow. Get that action. And then again, press the wrist down and lengthen up through the frontal body. Look straight forward. Breathe through the nose. And work to bring the breath into the side body. Good. Last 30 seconds to a minute here. Those of you doing Supta Padangusthasana, change sides if you haven't already. Last 30 seconds, headstand people. Try and stay. Dance with those actions with any pose, but especially headstand. Avoid that kind of habit of kind of getting in the pose and freeze framing it. You know, you've got to dance with it a little bit. You've got to find out what moves. How does it affect the next thing? Then where'd the breath go? What about those foundational aspects? Keep the jaw soft, right? All those things. All right, so now if you're still up, in your own time, gently bring yourself back down. Once you're down, rest in child's pose. And those of you that were doing Supta Padangusthasana, just hug your knees in. Then everybody roll onto your right hand side and just look for a second and I'll show you what we're going to do, okay? So you'll open your mat back up if you have folded it on. Get a strap. Now, we're going to take a little bit of a preparatory work that moves us towards Supta Padangusthasana 2. Supta Padangusthasana 2, I think you can see me here. The full pose is this thing. Okay, this is Supta Padangusthasana 2. So when you're doing that, I'll just show part of it from here. When you're doing that, right, and you're trying to turn this leg out. So this outer hip here has to go that way. And that's sort of what, wasn't even the full pose, but that's sort of what allows the body to get that lift. And it allows the lower back to become more, I don't want to say more mobile. The word is probably more functional, so that the lower back opens properly, which means that the tailbone's in. So we're going to take a couple steps to that. So here's what you're going to do first. You're going to just hug this leg in. Then we'll use a strap. This is my right leg. You'll use a strap. You'll hook the foot like Supta Padangusthasana 1. But then you see how I'm keeping the foot facing the ceiling. I'm bending the knee towards my right elbow. And I'm trying to keep this part, the shin bone, as perpendicular to the floor as possible. I'm trying to keep the thigh as parallel to the floor as possible. It's going to go so far. So we're going to start that way. We'll breathe a little bit here. This leg will just lift. I know. It's okay. Then secondly here, you'll let go of that. And you'll try and reach beneath you and hold your outer heel like that. And it's not that it's a different action, it's a different grip and different stability. We'll do that on each side. Then you'll hug your legs in. Then I'm just going to show it to you now so I don't have to come back and show it to you again. You'll start where you left off, like this. So you see how I'm going under and holding the outer ankle. Now, this is my left leg. This is my left hand, and it's holding my outer left ankle. It's going to bring that foot across the body, kind of in the angle of my right shoulder, and my right hand goes right on top of my left hand. So now I get to work this outer left hip away from me. So what we'll do, we'll grab on here, and then you'll bend this leg, lift your hips a little to get this outer hip to really roll that way. You'll get the foot going, and then you'll again straighten this leg. Now, this leg has its own job to do when you're doing this pose, and we'll talk about that a little bit. Once you get here, we'll be there, and then I'll say lift up, and imagine you're going to put that heel on your forehead, right? So when you do that part, doesn't matter how far you get, but what does matter is that you feel the action happen in your hip, not in your knee, right? And remember, most of you have been in physical classes with me. Remember when we do stuff like this, your knee should stay at a 90-degree angle. I'm sorry, it's a lot of information and I'm trying to give it to you all here where you can see me. But it's because I want to keep you safe and I'm not right in front of you. So your knee, 90 degrees here, okay? So keep an eye on that because that's a common, I don't know, it's a common thing. I don't want to say it's a mistake, it's just what the body does. So lie on your back, have that strap. Hook your right foot like Supta Padmasana 1. We're going to start there. I'm going to do it with you. Okay. So if you get lost, you can look up here and hopefully I'll be doing it. So right leg's in Supta Padmasana 1. Left leg straight. Put both straps in your right hand. By the way, put that strap right above your heel, just a little closer to the arch than your heel bone, but it should be hooking your heel, not the mounts of the foot. Now, you're going to start to bend your right leg and angle that heel like you want it to, or the heel, angle the knee like you want it to touch down by your outer right armpit. And the deeper the knee goes down, the more the foot wants to dump out to the side, or the more the knee wants to bend beyond a 90-degree angle. So you got to kind of wrangle that foot in with your strap as you bend the knee. Your left leg will lift off the floor. Don't worry about it too much. But just be there and breathe a little bit. And it's one of those poses, this preparatory action for this pose is one of those actions or poses that for me, and I can only speak for me, it used to never feel like a whole lot. It didn't feel like I was doing much, or it felt like my body was too tight to make a difference there or to get me into anything significant. So listen, if it feels that way to you, don't worry. You're not doing anything wrong. It's just a process, and the longer you hold it, meaning the longer you stay here right now, but also the longer you do it with time, it's one of those things that starts to unfold with time. Everything's like that, but this one in particular, to me, was very mysterious for a long time. Now, you're going to take your right hand or your right arm inside your right knee and now hold your outer right ankle or your outer right heel with your fingertips. If you can manage that, I want you to do it. It's the same thing, it's just a different traction. So the elbow actually plays a role here. The hand pulls straight down, Work to get your right buttock to move towards your left foot. And then let that go. Straighten both legs, push through the heels. All right, strap your left foot. Supta Padangusthasana 1 first. Hold the strap with the left hand, start to bend that left knee. Take your time so that shin bone stays upright, so that your knee stays at a 90-degree angle. Surrender and let go through the left groin, the left hip, even the left lower back. Breathe into the side ribs, but relax your abdomen. Keep the neck and the jaw soft. It's not their job to do this pose. Now you can put the straps in your right hand just to hold your foot there. Take your left hand inside of your left knee and your fingertips are going to come to your outer left heel. Now let the arm take over for that strap. Fingertips pull down. The elbow kind of pushes out in a weird way. And the left buttock flows towards your right foot. Breathe. Then release that side and hug both legs in. Pull straight down. Now, you're going to start where you left off, but put your left foot flat on the floor first, then hold on to your outer right heel with your right hand. Keep your left knee bent, pull the right knee down towards the floor a couple times, sort of like pump it towards the ground a little bit. Then keep the right knee as much down as you comfortably can. Stretch the left leg out to straight and push out through your left heel. Really roll the body to the left heel. It'll make your right knee lift a little. That's fine. Now, your right hand is on your outer right ankle. Keep it there. But push with your right hand to steer the right heel towards your left shoulder. Now, as you do that, move your right buttock to your left foot. Put your left hand on top of your right hand, and you can kind of rock around a little bit there. I like to rock to the left, and it helps me move this outer right hip buttock region towards my left foot. Do that a couple times. Roll the right thigh away from you. The foot should stay a little bit flexed. It protects your knee a little bit. Now, take a breath. If you have any kind of abdominal issues, do not lift up, right? But if you're fine and healthy in that region, exhale, bend your elbows and lift your head up. You can look out at your left foot, push the left heel away and roll the right leg away. Now, look at that right heel. Exhale, lift and bring that heel towards your forehead. Exhale, heel to the forehead, hip rolls away from you. And then release back down. Hug both legs in. And feel how you're really just oiling up those joints in your hips. It's a big joint to oil up. So it takes a little effort. Now put your right foot down. Hold on to your outer left heel. So left arm goes inside of the knee and holds the outer heel. Pull that heel bone down a few times towards the floor. Let your body rock. It's okay. Get that motion. Then keep the knee as close to the ground as you can. Stretch out through your right leg. Push out through your right heel. It'll be a little bit like being on a teeter-totter push the right heel away, the left leg will hover a little bit. Then your left hand's holding your left ankle. Push it so it rolls over to your right and bring your right hand on top of your left hand. Now this is where, again, you can kind of rock and roll here a little. Rock to your right and flow that left buttock towards your right heel. And feel it, there's a rhythm there in your hip and leg. When you do that, it lets your foot come closer to your right shoulder. Now take a breath, exhale, lift up, push your right heel away. Exhale and bring that left heel and try and touch it on your forehead. Exhale, left buttock to right foot to do that. And then release and hug your legs in again. All right, roll onto your right side and come on up. Everybody survive that? Y'all good? Good. It's nice. It helps the lower back quite a lot. Go wide with your legs. Upavishta. If you need a blanket, you can sit on a blanket. Remember, we usually sit on it so that that pointed edge points forward. If you need it, you can take it. Now, take the legs wide. Bring your hands behind your outer hips. Now, before you get too deep into this pose, I want you to do one thing. I'm going to turn to the side because I don't think this will be at all visible this way. So, okay, so there's me if I just sit in this pose without much thought to it. You see how the buttock is kind of back? What I want you to do here, watch, it's twofold. You bring your hands behind your hips and you roll, you push right buttock bone to right heel, left buttock bone to left heel. So it'll look something like this. But it gets this part of the body to go down. You see that? You see what I mean? Is that visible? I hope it is. I can't see it in any of you. Now, once you do that, then you spread the mounds of the foot. And that gives you the broadness in the back of your legs. Let's do that all together. So hands behind you, buttock bones to the heels, and set the buttock down again. Do that a couple times. Almost like you're pushing the heels away with your buttock bones. Heels are flexed. You're pushing out through your heels, buttock bones to the heels. Then spread the mounds of the foot from the big toe to the small toe. Feel how that keeps your kneecaps lifted and it spreads the back thigh, back groin. Also, that spreading in the mound of the foot, if you look at your legs, kind of do that and release it. Spread it and then release it. You'll see that it firms your outer calves in. Work to get that. So that thighs are down, outer calves are in. Now, hands either side of your right leg. Push out through your left foot. Heel and mound of the foot. Turn from the side body, feel even the abdomen flows to the right. And feel how with your right leg, you're working to push the buttock bone to the heel. With your left leg, you're working to spread the mounds of the foot. Come back to center. Change sides. Push out through the mound of the right foot, but your left buttock bone flows to your left heel. Exhale and turn the abdomen. And then come back to center. Now, we're going to bend the right leg. This isn't necessary for everybody, but if you have knee issues, hold your inner knee and you bend. Then you put your hands on your outer ankle. That should sound familiar, both of them. Put your hands on your outer ankle and bring that heel bone directly in line with your pubic Now the knee does bend beyond the 90 degree, right? Now, once you've done that, bring your hands behind you, and now again, roll right buttock bone to right heel, left buttock bone to left heel. So on the right, what does that mean? It's really tucking beneath you towards this right heel, and I want you to get that. Then spread the mound of your left foot out there on the floor. Lift through the side ribs and the chest. Then bring your hands forward. Lift through the side ribs and the chest. But now imagine I'm kind of tacking your outer hips down, right? And any amount now, go on and walk your hands forward, come forward. Keep those outer groins tacked down. Keep the abdomen deflated. Then inhale, come on up. Back to Upavishta. So once the legs are wide again, press both hands down, buttock bones to the heels, and spread the mounds of the foot. Feel how doing those two things keeps the tailbone in. Now, second side. So you bend it to where it goes, and then hands to the outer ankle and drag that heel towards the pubic foot. Then straight away, roll, especially the left buttock towards your left heel. Those of you who get knee pain and stuff like this, that will help. Right? Run across the mound of the right leg. And hands forward and come on forward. Work to tack the outer groins down. And then inhale, come all the way back up. Upavishta. Hold both inner knees. Feel that, I don't know if it's a ligament or a tendon, but it's right there on your inner knees. It's like that tight band. Put your fingertips on that and try and soften it with your fingertips. Just kind of press into it and see that it softens a little. You see I'm kind of rocking here because I know I'm getting ready to bend both of my knees, and you do too. You're going to take Baddha Konasana. So you just let the feet land where they land. Don't try and pull them in by the legs, but feel that your finger's still on that little band. And then let that band go. Now, instead of moving your feet to you, lift up your buttock and roll your buttock towards your heels. Do that a couple times to begin to close that gap some. Doesn't mean the gap has to close all the way, but right buttock to right heel, left buttock to left heel. Then once you've done that a couple times and it feels like, oh yeah, my low back got long, lift the side ribs and the chest. Wendy, sit on some blankets. I'm laughing at that kitty face in the screen. Now you kind of lean into one hand, I don't care which, put the opposite thumb in that crease and lengthen the inner leg. So you want to kind of touch into where that little band is again. I'm not trying to push the leg down. It might go down, I don't know. Lengthen it away. And then change sides. One side needs it a little more than the other side normally. Lengthen into that crease. Lift the side ribs as you do. Back to center, buttock towards the heels. If it works okay for you there, you take a hold of your feet and turn the soles of the feet open. So now you want to see, can I build that length to my inner knees like I just built with my thumbs? Lengthen out through the inner knees. And any amount, you begin to come forward, but that outer groin should feel like it's tacked down as you come forward. The length of the inner knees will help you come forward. Then with your inhale, come up and straighten the legs. Okay. So now, I'm going to turn to the side. You know, you have your mats there. Go ahead and use the length of your mat. Sit in Dandasana. Ooh, we got to get through this kind of quick. Sit in Dandasana, and the same information applies. I want you to lift and roll the buttock to the heels. Set the buttock down and then spread the mounds of the foot and feel how that spreads the back groin. But the action, those two things together should help you feel that, oh yeah, tailbone's even here. Now, left leg is going to bend first for Janu Shirshasana. So bring the left leg back, left heel at the inner left groin. Bring the left hand forward of the left leg, lift the chest. Oh, whoops, so I didn't have you do that. So lift your hips, roll the left buttock to the left heel. Then broaden the mound to the right foot and feel the back of the right leg spreads wide. Reach up, hook the thumbs, lift, spread the mounds of the left foot so that left leg is awake. I'm sorry, right leg. And then come forward, hold the foot if you can, or use a strap. Imagine the left outer hip is tethered down, but it's sort of tethered down by a bungee cord, meaning it's not a rope that you can't move. It's a bungee. It might move a little bit, but it's not going to go flying away. So walk your hands down the sole of your foot as much as you can. Relax the abdomen, bend the elbows wide, and lengthen out over that right leg. Inhale, straighten the arms and lift the chest. And exhale, come back to center. So lift from your outer left knee and straighten the left leg. Lift your hips, roll the body to the heels, and then spread the mounds of the foot to lift your chest. Now the right leg comes back. You want the knee behind the hip. Right? Heel in line with the right groin. Then again, lift your hips, roll the right buttock towards the right heel. Spread the mound of your left foot and sit tall. Reach up, hook your thumbs, pull way, way up. Way, way up, then exhale out over that left leg, hook the top of the foot, so that as you lift the chest, you'll feel, oh, that bungee on my outer right hip wants to lift. Keep the chest up, descend the left hip, right hip in the amount. Walk the hands down the foot if you can, or use a strap if you need to. Now, feel how when you work your legs, the abdomen deflates, relaxes. Bend the elbows wide and come forward out over that left leg. Straighten the arms, lift the chest, and exhale, release. Lift your outer right leg, straighten it. Let's do that again, okay? Left leg first. So bend the left leg out to the side for Janu Sirsasana. Hold the inner knee if you have knee pain, that helps quite a bit. Have a lift under your buttock if your knees hover away from the floor. That's how you'll understand the pose in time. Right, buttock, left buttock to the back of the left heel. Spread the mounds of the right foot and lift the chest. Reach up. Exhale, out over that right leg, lift the chest. Now I'm going to have you do something a little different. Keep a hold with your left hand. Put your right hand flat on the floor by your outer right thigh. Push the right hand down so the abdomen turns a little to the right, but do not lose the length in your side ribs. Feel that outer left hip is still wanting to tether down as much as possible. Bend your left elbow, come out over the right leg. Keep the legs awake. Then lift the chest and release. Lift from the outer left knee, straighten the left leg. Last one. Bring the right leg back for Janu Sirsasana. Roll the right buttock to the right heel. Then spread the mounds of the left foot so the back left thigh spreads. So the outer left shin is hugged in. Reach up, pull way up with your hands. Exhale over the left leg, hold the top of the foot, and then put your left hand flat on the floor by your left thigh. Push down. Deflate the abdomen. And now as you're ready, bend the right elbow now and bring yourself forward into Janu Sirsasana. Lift the chest with your inhale. And exhale, release. Lift that right leg with your hands. Stretch both legs forward for Paschimottanasana. So put your hands by your hips. Roll the buttock to the heels and then spread the mounds of the foot so the whole leg can awaken. Heels broadening, thighs down. In, oh, you know what? If you have any blankets around, you can pile them up on your legs. That would be nice, right? Because that can let your forehead rest. Now reach way up and spread the back of the legs. Feel the heels broaden against the ground. Inhale, and with your exhale, extend forward and hold the top of the foot. Now again, spread the back of the heel and lengthen your side ribs so that there's like a dance then that happens inside. Hold the outer foot. Keep the legs awake and bend the elbows wide so that the forehead can come to rest on those blankets. Breathe into the side body. Breathe into the back body. Soften the groin. Then to come up. Inhale, lift the chest. And exhale, release. Okay, look guys, get a bolster. Okay, get a bolster. We're almost done, but I want you to be able to release your back a little bit before we finish. We're just going to do Bharavajasana 1 just in a really simple way. So just point the bolster so that you can sit on the front edge, face forward. I'm going to turn to the side. Not so much for those of you in the class right now, but for those people who might watch the video, because Bharavajasana is sometimes confusing if you don't know the pose. So you're going to sit on the blanket or on the bolster, like so, okay? This is my left side. We're all going to sweep both feet to the left. The right foot points to the left. The left foot, the ankle rests in the arch of the right foot, so that the left heel is beside your outer left hip, not under it. Your left buttock comes off the bolster, your right buttock bone stays on the bolster. Now pull those outer groins down. Roll the shoulder back and lift the chest. Bring the right hand back to the back of the bolster. Bring the left hand to the left knee initially, palm down. Lift the chest. These are the thick back left ribs. Move them away from the spine and towards your left elbow. Then the left hand can go to the outer right knee. Move those thick back left ribs. You can come back to the center. Swing the legs forward. And second side. Legs to the right. So that means my left foot is pointing to the right. And my right ankle sits on top of the left arch. Right buttock comes off of the bolster. Left buttock is on the bolster. Pull the outer groins down. In turn, lift the side ribs up. The left hand comes back to the back of the bolster. Right hand palm down to the right knee first. Lift the chest, and it's a small turn. But as you work there, bend the right elbow a little and move those thick back right ribs towards your right elbow, away from the spine. Then the right hand can go over to the left knee. Again, bend and turn. Release back to center. Quickly do the first side again. So sweep the legs to the left. Turn to the right. Lift the chest as you turn. Really lift, look up and over that right shoulder. Get some mobility there. Mobility, nobility. Swing the legs around to the other side. One more time, turn to the left. Lift the chest. And really turn and look up and over that left shoulder. Get that movement. Good. And then release back to center. Great. So let's take this bolster and lie on your back, but have the bolster handy, okay? So I've got the handle here next to me. So that when I lie back, I'm going to push the heels, lengthen the low back, and stretch the legs to straight. Then I'm just going to slip that bolster right up there onto my front thighs. You can hold onto the sides of your mat to make the low back longer. I know we've done some forward bends. So it's an effort to kind of release the low back. Then you're going to turn your arms out. Just surrender and let the legs release and let go. The eyes closed. And gently move the body, mind, the intelligence, the consciousness inward. Feel how the arms and the legs all have a sense of flowing away from the trunk of the body. The trunk of the body itself has a sense of spreading wide in all directions of the room. And slowly and steadily, the head becomes placed down, relaxed but stable, there on the ground. Neck long, so the neck doesn't have to hold that up. The head rests, and the mind rests, and the brain rests. As the intelligence there rests, comes to a stop for a moment. Feel how the consciousness of the body spreads. So for each of us, we have this individual aspect. But we also have this universal aspect. This idea that we all know that we're really all one. The consciousness knows that. The consciousness goes to that collective consciousness. It's one of the places that we can touch that reality of oneness. When we allow the mind to settle, the intelligence to settle, the brain to settle and be still. Now bring the hands to rest on the frontal body for a moment. Then move your bolster aside, bend your left leg and roll onto your right hand side. And look down towards the floor. Use the hands to press the floor away. And come on up back to sitting. And that's all for this evening, and so good to see all of you. Namaskar.